If you own a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, S9, S9 Plus, S8, S8 Plus, or Note 8, you most likely received a large update that added the new Android 9.0 software as well as Samsung's One UI interface to your phone. In this video, I'm going to show you everything this update added. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. So in today's video, I will be using the Note 9. Some of the features may be different depending on the country you are in, but if you have any of the phones I mentioned, as well as the S10, these features will work on those devices with this new update. So first off, let's talk about how you can get the update if you don't have it. Go into the settings of your phone. You want to scroll down and hit software update right here, and then download and install, and it should automatically find the update. Now, for whatever reason it's not finding the update, you can try downloading the Smart Switch application to your computer, plug in your phone, and see if it can search for the update. Now, if it doesn't find the update, most likely your phone is not supported or it hasn't been pushed out for your phone. So with this update, you now have Android 9.0, so that means you have the latest software that has been pushed out by Google, but also Samsung adds what's called One UI, so Samsung's overlay on top of the software to give you all the extra enhancements and features. So first, let me show you the One UI enhancements of some of the content on the device and the settings. So if we go here into the notification panel, you'll notice that this is much more simplified, a little bit cleaner look. If we go into the settings menu, you'll also see that it's much simpler than it was before, and things are organized a little bit different. I really like how this looks, and it does make it very easy to understand what I'm looking for. Now, the second thing, many apps now adjust so that when you go into the app, it's much easier to reach with one hand. So if I was holding my phone, instead of having to reach all the way up to the top to select the first message, I can just reach right there and tap the message. And then once you start scrolling, you'll see that it covers up that blank spot. We also saw that when I was in the settings menu for the first time. Here you have the settings up there, and then if I scroll down, it goes up to the top. So many of the menus and applications are now formatted to be better for one-handed use. Now, one of the greatest new design features that has been added is night mode. So if you go in here to your quick panel settings, right here you see night mode. So when you turn on night mode, it puts a overlay on the settings menu and supported applications. So at night, it's not going to blind you with the white space all over where it has moved to the dark space. So this will change like your messages application, your contacts, even your phone application, and certain other applications supported by Samsung. Now, one of the things that I did notice is that if you are using the S9 or Note 9, you only have the option to have it turn on and off. If you go into the details, there's no extra settings like on the S10, but there is a way to enable it so it will turn on and off depending on sunrise and sunset. Is how you do that is you go into the settings of the phone. You're going to want to turn on developer options by going into About Phone, find Software Information, Build Number, and tap on that about 10 times. And then that will open up the developer options. So we're going to go back in here in the settings. We have developer options. And then over here, we have night mode. And so instead of having it on or off, you can turn on automatic based on the time of day. So I haven't tested this a ton, but that option is available that you can try out. And that's something that has been added only to the S10s in the actual software of the phone. So now we're just going to keep it on night mode because I really like how that looks. So next up, we have some changes to notifications. So previously, when you received a notification, you could quick reply, but now they've added some extra options. So if you just pull down your notification bar, there I can press the quick reply button, or I can pull down on the notification. There I can call, mark as read, or quickly reply without even going into the application. So there I can use my response, hit enter, and then it will send it on. Now, one thing I have noticed about the new quick reply with Android Pie is sometimes my notification will stay up here after I've responded. If anyone knows how to get that to not do that, please let me know in the comments below, but most likely you just have to swipe away. Now, one other update that's been added is now there is support for picture thumbnails within that message notification. So here I receive a text, there it's showing the little thumbnail. I pull down and I can see more about that picture and I can swipe it away just like normal. So a few other changes in notifications. Here I received a text message. I could swipe it away like normal, or I can swipe it just partially away. And then here I have a little reminder button. So if I click this, I can then set a reminder for that notification. I can also swipe over and hit settings to go into the settings of the notifications, or I can hold down and hit details to go into those settings as well. So now you have the ability to adjust certain notification categories. So here I could choose general notifications and turn those off, but then my new notification messages will still pop up. So depending on the application, you will see different categories. Like I know the Marco Polo application, it has a bunch of different categories where I went in and every time I need to turn off the social category because it keeps telling me that people are on the app when necessarily I don't want to see that notification to talk to them. So those are notifications on Android 9.0. So next we have the Samsung One UI keyboard update. So the first thing that has been added is new Unicode 11.0 emoji. So there are a few new emojis that you can get to. Now I've looked through these. I'm not too much of a emoji user, but I did notice one really important emoji. So if we just go to a normal person down here, you now have the red-headed emoji. So yes, this is brand new on Android 9.0, so that's really nice to have if you're red-headed. But there you go. That's the main update to the emoji keyboard, but a few other things that have been updated as well. So here you can see that my keyboard has adjusted to night mode. So we're actually going to go in and turn off night mode real quick so I can show you how to adjust this setting. So you're going to go into the keyboard settings, and then you're going to go into keyboard layout and feedback, and here you have keyboard themes. So the new option is you have adaptive theme. So adaptive theme is automatically going to adjust to a light or a dark keyboard depending on night mode or the type of colors that each app is using. So here you can click on and see what type of keyboard it's going to be using for the application. And then down here, if you select preview, you can see what that looks like. And you also have the option to turn off the keyboard borders, which I have not seen before on the Samsung keyboard. Now that we have that set up like we want, we need to select apply. Now staying within the keyboard settings, we're going to select back. We are going to choose smart typing, and you have this new option down here at the bottom to change the keyboard touch and hold delay. So this is like when you want to long press and go to a symbol instead of going to the symbols menu. So you have the option to change it to a short delay, medium, or long, or here you can go into custom and you can see how long it would be. So if I long press like that, you can see that was 0.35. So you can kind of find the exact time that you like to long press. Maybe you like to hold it down for really long to long press something, or really short. That will be the seconds, and then you could save it like that. But I found that I really like where it was set by default at the medium settings. Now there's one more thing that this new keyboard can do, is if you go into the keyboard settings, you now have this modes. So if I tap on modes, I can choose the standard keyboard, a one-handed keyboard, or a floating keyboard. So I can have the keyboard pop up, and then down here I can actually move the keyboard around or have it float around my screen and put it wherever I would like. And then I can also adjust the transparency. So here I go into size and transparency. So there you can see that it's making it a little more transparent. And then let's come up here. So there you can see it's transparent. You can see through it. Or I can actually adjust the size. So if I want it to be a little bit wider or a little bit taller, I have the options all right there within the new floating keyboard. And then if you want to go back to the regular keyboard, select the drop down, click modes, and go to standard keyboard. You can also move that option up here to the bar if you like to use that all the time. Now next, Samsung has updated its device care. So previously they called it device maintenance. You have the application right there, or you can actually go into the settings of your phone and then scroll down and you'll see device care. So device care allows you to kind of do some troubleshooting with your device, check to see how the battery is doing, check your storage and your memory. So then here it's giving me a tip that extended usage in cold environments can result in temporary reduced battery performance. Your battery will recover when it warms up again. So this has been really helpful. You can clear out the tip like that. Here you have this button to optimize the phone. You can also jump into the battery and see what's been taking up the most battery, and you can choose battery usage. You can also go here to storage and see what applications and what files are taking up the most storage, or you can go into the memory and clean out the memory so that your phone may just run a little bit smoother. Up here, you do have a few other options where here you can have it automatically optimize every night. You could also have it automatically reset maybe like once a week just to keep the phone working properly. And that's pretty much it with device care. It will check to see if you have any applications that are having problems or anything like that. So go in there every once in a while and clean things up. Now next we have some updates with the new always on display. So you will have noticed that maybe your always on display does not show up anymore when your screen is off. So now to turn on always on display, you just need to tap your phone and it will actually pop up the always on display. Now one question I get a lot is how do you change the brightness? You just double tap. Here it's set to automatic, but you can adjust the brightness right there. And then we can click it again to go back to automatic. To adjust the settings of the always on display, go into the settings of the phone. Then we're going to scroll down, go under lock screen, and then go under always on display. And here it's showing you some tips. So you can have it show home button and clock, or just the home button. But down here you have display mode. So right now it's on tap to show, or you can turn it on so it's always showing the always on display, or you could have it show at scheduled time. So showing always on display is what you're used to. The benefits of tap to show is it's not always showing a time, and it's going to improve your battery life, and then it will show up just when you tap the screen instead of having to unlock your screen to see the time. So I'm going to keep mine on the tap to show. Now, one of the other things is you can actually now add some new information to your always on display. So right here, we're going to select settings, and it's going to take us into the full always on display settings. The other way to get here would be to go into your settings, go under lock screen, and then here we have the clock style. And so this is asking if we want to change always on display or lock screen. So we're going to choose always on display. So here we have this new clock style. This regular clock style we've seen before. A lot of people have asked for this one that's just a normal landscape. And here you can see all these cool new styles that have been added to the software. Now again, you do have this GIF option where you can actually go in and choose a preset GIF that is available, or you can actually choose a custom GIF that you already have on your device. And then here you have one that's showing the calendar events that are upcoming, the calendar, 2 different clocks. Here you can have the time on the side, and then here you can go into the theme store and adjust that right there. So those are the new always on display settings in the One UI update. Now when you are charging your device and you tap to show the always on display, it will actually show you how much time is left to charge the phone. So here you can see that it's fast charging. It's about 34 minutes until it's fully charged. That will also work while you are wireless charging. So I've really liked having that available on the new OS update. So that is always on display on the One UI update. The next feature update was now you do not need the Samsung DeX Pad or the DeX Station to be able to use the Samsung DeX interface. Now, if you had a Note 9, this was already possible, but it has been updated on the S9s and the S9 Plus and S8s, where you can just use a dongle that has USB-C to HDMI to be able to share your screen onto the big TV so you can use Samsung DeX. Now it will use the full Samsung DeX interface, not just screen mirroring. You can actually choose one or the other. I'll leave a link on how to use Samsung DeX at the end of the video. So next we have Bixby Updates. So there's a bunch of new things that you can do within Bixby. Here, of course, you can swipe to go and see more from Bixby Home, but now you can actually control exactly what the Bixby button does. So if this is the first time using Bixby, you probably need to just press it once and go through the setup process. So once you have it set up, you can actually control exactly what the button does. So if we go into the menu here, go into settings, and then go to Bixby key, we now have a few options. So one is we could have Bixby just be single press, and so it goes right into Bixby. And then here we could turn on an application when we double press, or here we can have it double press to open Bixby. So that means when you press the button just one time, it will automatically open up a favorite app or run a quick command that you've previously set up. So here we could select an app, and then it's going to go through and give me a bunch of different options for applications that I may want to use. So let's say I want to go in and listen to my Audible books. So now I click home, press the button once, and it's going to jump right into Audible. So those are the new Bixby updates. A little update has been added to the phone application if you are under the recents. So here it would show a call history of 500 before, where now it will show up to 2000, and you can go into the menu and you can actually have it show the recent calls, missed calls, rejected, outgoing, or incoming. Now, one other thing is in this menu, you can use swipe to call or swipe to message. That feature has been removed from the message application. Now, speaking of that, I do want to just mention right here in the message application, if you're texting somebody and you want to call them, you just pick this up to your ear and it will instantly call them just like that without having to go into the phone call application. You could also just select the call button there at the top. So that feature is still available, just not the ability to swipe left and right here in the menu. So it will just now select that option. You no longer can swipe left and right. So in the Contacts app, you have a new interface update. And then in the drawer here, you can easily access which contacts you are viewing. And then you can adjust your groups all right here within the Contacts app. So that makes it a little bit easier to use. Now, if we head into the Gallery application, one of the things that was a problem before is if you wanted to edit a photo, it had made you go to a separate application. Well, now right here within the app, I can select edit, and then it will automatically start allowing me to crop and make all those changes without ever having to leave the actual Photos application. So all of those photo editing features are now built right into the application. A few other updates to the Gallery app is you just have a better overall looking app. You can still pinch to view the different albums that you have. Down here, you can select pictures, albums, story, and you have this shared folder where you can actually share certain folders with people in your contacts. If you swipe down, you can then select videos, your favorites, locations, and suggested. So all those features are in there. I really like the new design of the new Gallery application. Now, next we're going to go into the My Files app. So there is a new tool here in My Files that allows you to do a storage analysis. So if we scroll down to the bottom, here we can select storage analysis, where it's actually going to help us free up storage on our phone. So here it's saying I'm using 82% of my phone's internal storage. And then down here, it's showing that I have 661 meg of duplicate files. Here I have 37 gig of large files and some unused files. So if you want to delete these duplicates, you would tap on the duplicates, and here it's showing the duplicates and what folder they're contained in. So if I know that, hey, I only want those to be in the downloads folder, I can then select right here and delete it. If you select all, it's going to select all of those photos and videos and delete them all, and there will be none left. So make sure you're only selecting one of these so that you only delete the one that is a duplicate. You can also sort by internal storage, SD card, and cloud storage. So here under large files, it's showing me the largest file that I have on my phone, which is a 10 gig download. I do want to keep that on here, but you could go through and tap on which photos you want or files you want to delete them. So that is the My Files storage analysis. Now you also have the setting up here to adjust what you see on the My Files home. So maybe I don't want to see the categories or the SD card or Samsung Cloud. You can go in and turn off some of those that you never ever use. So now on my home screen, it's not showing those cloud options. I just have the main My Files application. So next we have an update to Samsung Health. So if you ever used the application before, it's there to keep track of your steps and your overall health. But with this new update, it added a constant notification to show you your steps throughout the day. Now, sometimes, or maybe you do like to have that, but I don't like to have this because then I can't swipe it away. So to clear this out, you hold down, just like I showed you previously, select the details, and now we are going to turn off the current steps notification. So you'll still receive other notifications about challenges and achievements. So here it is no longer going to show that Samsung Health notification up at the top. Now there's just a few more big updates that I want to show you on the One UI. So if we go into the settings of the phone and go down here to advanced features, and then we go to motion and gestures, you now have this option to lift to wake. So when you turn this on, let's say your phone is asleep and you want to check your notifications, all you have to do is pick it up, and then it will actually turn the phone on without you having to press the home button or the power key. So that's really nice. And then it will start scanning for your face, or you can put your fingerprint in or whatever. So that's the lift to wake option. Now, another cool feature is if you go back to advanced features, right here you have the option to reduce animations. So when you do this, it's going to speed up the animation effects on the screen. So when you press buttons, it's going to show less, or maybe make them a little bit faster so that your overall performance of the phone might look like it's improved, even though not much has really changed. It's just showing less animations than it did before. One new feature that has been added to the quick panel settings is Kids Home. So this is something that I've actually used quite a bit since it's been added, where it's the replacement of the kids mode that was on here before. So let's say I want my kid to play on my phone. Now, once I go into this mode, they can't press the home button or the recent apps to go and mess up my phone. They're locked into this Kids Home. So now they only have access to applications I've allowed them to see. So if we go into the menu here, we can actually check out the parental controls. You will need a password to get out or get into the parental controls. So here I can see how much my kid has been playing through the weekday. Here I can see daily usage. If I want to scroll back, I can see more of that information. Here I can see the activity and what applications they're using the most. And then here I can see different things they have created. And these are the applications and content that I've allowed down here. So if I tap on apps, I can see all those apps, and I can actually add any other application that's on my phone into the kids mode. So this is super handy to have. Just make sure your phone has a good case so that they don't break the phone while they're using kids mode. So then if I want to leave, I just select back. It then asks for my PIN code, and it will exit the application. Now last, a few other updates is here in the recent apps menu. So here you will notice that it's changed from all the different applications popping up to this long list of apps right here. So if you want to close an app, you would just swipe up. If you want to see the settings of an application, you can actually just tap on the actual icon, and then here you can have app info, and it will take you right into the settings. And down here you have some recent applications, and it's actually going to learn how you use your phone and give you applications that you might want to use based on the time of day. Now let's say you want to put an application into split screen. You tap the icon right there. You now have open in split screen view. It's going to pop that open on the top, and then here you can go and choose a certain application that you want to have on the bottom. So now I have these two apps open at once. To close them, you would just swipe that to the top of the screen and it will close it. Another option that you have there is the ability to do pop-up view. So now it's going to pop up this app on top, and then you can move it around. You can minimize it, open it up, and now you have a new transparent option where you can actually kind of hide the application so you can see what's behind it, and then you can still interact with that application while it's on top of the screen. And then down here at the bottom, you still do have the close all, so it will get rid of all the current applications open instead of having to swipe them all away. So now the very last feature that has been added to the Android One UI update is the ability to remove the buttons at the bottom and turn them into gestures. So if you go into the settings of your phone, you're going to go into display, and we're going to go down and find the navigation bar. And so here we have the option to change from navigation buttons to full screen gestures. So full screen gestures allow you to interact with the buttons down here on the bottom without pressing. You just swipe up. So now if I want to go back to the home screen, I just swipe up from the middle of the bottom. If I want to go to the recent apps, I swipe up from the left side. If I want to go back, I swipe up from the right side. So I've actually really enjoyed these quick little gestures instead of pressing the button. Swiping up has been super easy to do. So then on the home screen, you'll notice that the hints are gone, but if you go to a different page, you'll notice that the hints pop up because of Samsung Pay. So there you go. That is everything that is new with the Samsung One UI update. If this is your first time here, I would love to have you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you come hang out with me on my next video all about the top 10 hidden features available in Samsung One UI.